Postpartum shedding with microlocs, especially after baby number 2, y'all, is very, very real, let me tell you. And honestly, it can feel a lot more noticeable the second time around than it did the first time around, which I was not really prepared for. But the good news is that in most cases, it's just temporary and it's pretty manageable without losing your lock journey. It just kind of looks a little bit awkward for a while. So what makes the postpartum shedding look really unique when you have microlocs or regular size locks is that it looks a little bit scarier just because the shedded hairs are getting trapped inside of that lock instead of falling out freely. So you may have thinner looking parts, or you may lose a lock altogether just because that clump of hair that is tied in that lock is shedding all at once. First time around for me, I felt like I was spending a lot of my time trying to conceal it. I didn't want anybody to see that my hair was shedding because it looked a hot mess. And I also wanted to still style my hair in my favorite styles. I love a good half up, half down. But of course, I wasn't really able to do that with my hair shedding as bad on the sides. So I was using this hair fiber spray that you guys will see if you go back last year and watch my video. But I was using that to kind of spray in the sparse areas so that it would look a lot thicker, even though there was no actual lock there. But this time around, I just said, you know what? The shedding is happening. It looks a lot worse. And I don't need to be spraying this artificial spray in my hair this go around. I'll just wear my hair in the middle part for a few months, and that's just what it's gonna be. And that's what I've been doing, y'all. As y'all could see, whenever I lifted up my hair on my edges, the baby hairs are starting to grow in. It was never like ski bald, but it was pretty bald. Like the hair is starting to grow back, and I did save my locks. I have them in a little baggie that I'm going to take to my Loctician whenever my hair grows in a little bit more, and she'll just reattach and we'll start over from where we left off. So I'm really grateful that I'm able to do that. When you have locks, that is kind of a plus because you can just save the lock if it falls off. Or in my case, sometimes I had to cut them out just because I didn't want them to fall out and then for me to not know where it is because I wanted to reattach. All of the products that I'm showing y'all that I'm using, I will try to have linked in the description of this video or attached to the show notes so that it'll pop up on the shop section of this video. But the first oil that you saw me using on my edges that I've been using pretty religiously, I actually got that from my Loctician. She makes oils and hair butters and products to sell for her clients and for people just that want to shop. So I will link down below her Instagram so that you can go there and, you know, shop some of her products. I really love them. As y'all can see, I've used it all the way till the end. So another note, please excuse my nails, y'all. I'm getting them done tomorrow, I promise. Y'all know I typically don't let my nails look this bad. So my appointment is tomorrow. And one thing that I really don't like, a little pet peeve, I hate trying to do my hair when my nails are needing to be done because like they just kind of snag on my locks. Anyways, I'm getting off track. We're talking about postpartum shedding, but I just wanted to share that with y'all because I got distracted. So if you've never had a baby before, or if this is your first time, I wanted to share with y'all that postpartum shedding typically starts around 2 to 4 months postpartum. For me, it started around 2 months. So pretty on point, y'all. My hair was ready to start falling out. And it typically peaks between like 4 and 6 months, and then it starts to slow down around 6 months to a year. So right now I'm pretty much in the thick of it. I just turned 5 months postpartum, so hopefully I don't have that much longer to go with the postpartum shedding. But I did want to give y'all some tips on how to protect your microlocs during this time, just some things that I've learned from last time and also that I'm doing this time. The first is to not over retwist. Now, tension on already shedded roots can cause thinning or breakage. So I would say to stretch your retie out if the shedding is too much. For me, I typically go between every 5 to 6 weeks, but since this has been happening, I stretch it out to about every 6 to 7 weeks. And also whenever I'm there, I do talk to my Loctician. I let her know what's going on, and she's also really good about hair health, and she's been through this before. She's seen my cases like mine before and worse, so she already knows like to be really gentle with the lock. Another tip that I have is to be really gentle with styling. So you want to avoid any heavy styles, any excessive use of edge control, and also really tight ponytails. If you can, just keep your hair down, just let it flow. Maybe do a little braid out, but make sure that around your edges or at your crown or wherever you are having your postpartum shedding, make sure it's not too tight. So for me, honestly have been slowing down on the braid outs a lot just because I don't want to risk like any kind of tension with my hair because it is very, very sensitive around the edges. So tip number 3 is to keep your scalp clean and hydrated. So you don't want to skip out on your weekly washes or however often you wash your hair. For me, I wash my hair once a week at least, especially because I am exercising a lot. So I do make sure that I wash my hair every week. And I also keep it very lightweight with the oils. So you want to use like jojoba oil or vitamin E or almond oil, whatever kind of oil you like to use. Make sure that it's lightweight and it's not super heavy on your hair. We want to be focusing on scalp health right now more than ever, y'all. So try not to overload your hair with a ton of product because we don't want to have a lot of buildup on top of the locks being kind of sensitive at the root. Tip number 4 is to be mindful of your nutrition. So something that I'm doing this time around that I wasn't very consistent with the first time around was taking my prenatal vitamins. Even though I already had my baby, I'm not taking postnatal vitamins. I'm taking the prenatal vitamins because I'm also breastfeeding. And my doctor recommended that prenatal vitamins do wonders for women with postpartum. It helps with the shedding. It doesn't completely stop it altogether, but it's supposed to kind of soften the blow a little bit with the hair that you are going to lose. And it also just helps replenish your body with all the nutrients that your baby's going to be taking from you, especially if you are nursing. Another tip is to not panic over the hair shedding. Now, for me, this was really hard for me to do the first time. Like I said, I was trying to conceal. I was trying to do everything I can to hide it. I still wanted to do my regular styles, my braid outs, my half up, half down, my tight ponytails. I still wanted to do that, but this time around, I just pretty much let that go. You want to be very gentle with your hair right now. It is in a really fragile state, and you know your body's trying to heal after you had your baby, so just try to be careful. If you do palm rolling, honestly, I'm not a loctician, but I would say I feel like palm rolling would be a lot more tension than interlocking. So if you've ever considered interlocking and you haven't done it yet, maybe give it a try. Just because with the interlocking, which is what I do with my hair, you're kind of able to track how tight you do it. You can do a 2-point rotation, you can do a 3-point rotation or a 4-point rotation. I do 4-point rotation. It just helps keep the lock tighter together. But I would say that the palm rolling motion, to me, as I can imagine, I feel like that would be a lot more tension than to do interlocking. The way that palm rolling works, you have to wrap the new growth around itself using tension and product to keep it in place. And while it does look good, it still relies on your strands to be strong enough to stay put. And right now that we are going through the postpartum shedding, it's not really that strong yet. So during the postpartum shedding phase, your hair is literally in the shedding phase, and so it's already kind of loose at the root. So adding that tension by adding a ton of product, twisting, that manipulation, I feel like it would lead to a little bit more thinning around the edges. Whereas with interlocking, it's a little bit different because instead of twisting the hair, you're actually just threading the lock through the root into a specific pattern, like 2, 3, or 4-point rotation to secure it. It's also lower manipulation, and you also don't have to add hardly any product to it while you're doing it, so you don't have to worry about that buildup right there on that sensitive hair. But if you're unsure, of course, talk to your loctician, or if you don't have a loctician, do your own research. But for me personally, I feel like interlocking during this phase like really helps protect my roots instead of working more so against my hair. But that's just my opinion, y'all. Let me know in the comments if you have experienced something different. I know that I gave y'all a whole bunch of information in this video so far, but I kind of wanted to end off on a more positive note when it comes to having locks with the whole postpartum shedding thing. I know it can be really hard, but trust me, once you give your hair time to recover and your roots get time to recover, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be like nothing ever happened. Because with locks, you're doing less than you would if you had loose natural hair. So there's less tension, less breakage, less chance to overhandle your hair that's already shedding. so much. It might be true that you might notice the parts looking a little bit bigger and your locks feeling lighter and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that your locks are failing or that your lock journey is over. It just means that your hair is just cycling through a normal phase. So once the shedding slows down, your hair will start to fill back in. This is just from my personal experience, but I'm waiting on that to happen for me again. But your locks will regain density, your new growth will come in, and your journey will continue, and you don't have to restart. So that's a really nice aspect of having locks, whether it's micro locks or regular size locks. So if anything, do not rush to cut your locks right now. Don't panic, because it's definitely not permanent. I know that I'm in the thick of it, and I'm not sure where you are with your journey at this moment, but as someone who is in the thick of it and who knows what it's going to be like on the other side, trust me, it's going to be fine. My hair, I know, will grow back in, and it's gonna look fine. And if I really don't like the way that my edges are looking, I can just go back into my little stash and hand my little locks that fell out or that I had to cut out to my Loctician. She can reattach them and we'll move on like nothing ever happened. This sage and citrus scented whipped shea butter that I'm using is actually something that my Loctician made. She sells it, like I was telling y'all at the beginning of the video. I really recommend that y'all give her products a try because they're so nice, and you can also use it for your skin too, but they're very, very moisturizing for your hair. So I'm just going in and kind of sealing everything with that, because I did use those creams, but I did want to throw in a little bit of my sage and citrus whipped shea butter in there too, even though I have used this thing to the brim. Like, there's almost nothing left. But I don't know if y'all could tell, but in this video I was trying to finger detangle as I go, as gently as I can, obviously, but I wanted to make sure that my hair wasn't going to be really tangled, just because since I'm not really doing a lot of twist outs and curled styles right now, I really want my hair to look more, I don't want to say straight, but I want it to hang in a uniformed way, if that makes any sense, that I don't get whenever I don't finger detangle. So that's why I'm doing that. And I'm also just oiling my roots a little bit, just because those need moisture too. We talked about scalp health in this video. I will say that I'm super grateful that I started my Microlocs journey all those years ago, because I honestly don't know what I would be doing with my hair right now. Not even just the postpartum shedding, but just in general, y'all. I just really enjoy having my hair done pretty much all the time, even during this period. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, but I will let y'all take a look at my hair. I'll do a little 360 for y'all so that y'all can see the length and everything all these years later. But I'll talk to y'all in my next video. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching this one.